Hi. Hi. Welcome back to the O Show. Everything crypto and NFTs every day. Before we get started, I need to tell you guys something. I'm exhausted. I'm super, super, super tired. I'm just out of my mind tired. So I'm going to do my best to get through today's show. I've got a couple more things I need to do. I already have a second media piece scheduled for you guys. I highly recommend you guys tune in to watch the next media piece. It's going to drop at 3:30 p.m. PST. My very good friend Brooke Lacey made a tutorial on how to create and use a Bitcoin paper wallet. So we're going to talk about that. I included her tutorial into my video and encouraging you guys to subscribe to her channel. Also, I gave some additional tidbits and thoughts regarding that, okay? Bitcoin paper wallets are extremely important. So are Ethereum paper wallets and vice versa. They're more complex though. So, there's more risk associated, but at the same time, what do you want to give up for your freedom and ownership of your money? With that being said, we're going to really kind of focus and hit hard on what's happening with Binance. And before we really talk about that, I want to first say, I'm not giving you guys financial advice. This is just my opinion from what I'm seeing. I'm not telling you to blindly trust CZ. I'm not telling you to blindly trust Binance. I'm not telling you to blindly trust anything or even to listen to what I'm saying. I'm telling you to hear what I say and come up with something that makes sense for yourself. But I really want to talk about why is Binance and CZ getting attacked the way they're getting attacked? I've seen hit piece after hit piece after hit piece of Binance throughout the bull market. I do know that let me put it this way. Follow the money. We cannot track fiat money. We can track crypto money. We can use a blockchain to track transactions. But it's seeming to me that a lot of these hit pieces on Binance and CZ are being bought and paid for. And one of the reasons why, again, I don't have any evidence to support this. This is just my opinion. And again, I'm pretty kind of spot on. Could be the street smarts, could have been, that type of stuff. But we see hit piece after hit piece regarding Binance, okay? But what about FTX? What about Celsius? What about Voyager? What about BlockFi? What about all of these companies that have gone down? Why aren't we seeing terrible things being said about them? Alex Mashinsky is a legit scammer, like a horrible, terrible person. Nothing bad about him. Binance, it's like every week there's something bad. So I'm just curious why we keep seeing this. Is CZ 100% innocent? No, I don't think anybody in crypto is 100% innocent. The reason why is because we don't even have clear regulations and guidelines to go by. So how the heck are you supposed to follow the law when there's no law to follow? Okay? No law to follow. So that's my number one problem is I'm just keep seeing all these terrible things being said and it's bothering me. It's literally bothering me. I don't know CZ in person. I've never met him, never had him on the channel. I probably should ask him to come on the channel. But one of the things I do commend and like about him is he is an underdog. He came from nothing. He came from poverty. And I generally do have more respect and support for people who came up how I did in a similar aspect. So that does say a lot. But at the same time, I'm not telling you guys to trust him or to trust anything that they're doing. I am just having a hard time seeing all of these things being said with zero accountability or zero bad things being said about other parties that have actually done bad stuff. And it's just the same thing that we see in crypto on crypto Twitter all the time. I have seen pretty much everybody who's trashed me or said things negative about me, they end up being like a legit scammer and doing terrible things. And a lot of times people gaslight other people and they say they attack other people to take the pressure off themselves, to take the eyes off of them. And I'm just getting really sick of it. But it is what it is. It's life. I love my job. I love what I do. And I think it's important for me to voice my concerns. But at the same time, just because I'm giving my opinion on the situation with Binance and with CZ is that I'm not saying to trust him. I'm just kind of giving my opinion here. And it's a little bit funny. It's a little bit interesting. We've seen this throughout time and time again. Human psychology is very interesting to kind of see the way people act, to see the way people move. Shout out to Maximilian. I appreciate it. But pay attention, follow, watch. And just because I'm saying something, I'm going to be talking positively about CZ and Binance, I'm still going to lay into them a little bit. It doesn't mean I'm endorsing or supporting them. It's just more so my opinion on the matter. Okay. My opinion on the matter. What is worse than the FTX collapse is USDT is a ticking time bomb. That's your opinion. Is USDT a ticking time bomb? Who knows? We'll find out. That's a fun part about crypto. And that's also important, is that you're supposed to go ahead and hear what people like me say, but do your own due diligence and listen to yourself. You're supposed to make up a scenario that makes sense for you and understand the risk associated as well. So, I mean, I don't know. It's very frustrating. Like, I'm tired of the slander. I'm really tired of the slander. But without further ado, let's get into it. We also need to shout out the YouTube. On the YouTube, we have 117 concurrent viewers, 23 likes. Smash a like, get them up, get them up. Shout out to Fernando, to Johnny, to Polly, to Pew Pew Poom, to Fernando again. CZ said 2023 would be a FUD year over him. There's been a FUD year against him since 2020. Also, too, we have a poll at the top. Do you believe everything you read on the internet? 3% said yes. 82% said no. And 15% said breakfast for dinner. I think that's a lie. I think a lot more of you do believe everything on. Good morning to the real little D. Good morning. But I feel like a lot of you do believe more things. You guys believe everything on the internet. I do. I used to be that way too. I used to be very stupid and very naive and just not do my own research. And then I got into crypto and it really forced me to do better and self-educate. So I challenge you all to do that. Why? Because you should self-educate yourself. You should believe in yourself enough to make good, educated decisions or do the best you can. And I think you're all capable of doing that. You don't need to buy into what mainstream media says or what mainstream society says. You matter. You're important. That's just my opinion, though. So it's what it is. And I do like this shirt. It's nice and cozy. I pretty much got all my work done for today. I've got a call at 11:30, one at 1 o'clock, and then I've got to do a little voiceover for a ticky-tacky. Shout out to you guys. And then I'm going to take a nap. Well, actually, I might go to Target. I have to return some stuff. And then I'm going to make a chicken wrap today. But let's go ahead and get into the news. All right, let's go back. Let's bring it back old school. All right. And you can tell, those that know me can tell how tired I am. Okay. So let's talk about the altcoins. Okay. The altcoins, because everything is up and everybody is super excited. And that's because Bitcoin went ahead and made some nice moves up. We were in that ascending wedgie thingy and then we bounced out and we popped out. So we talked about that. So everything is up. I would be cautious here. I still would be cautious. And I'm going to show you why you should be cautious. Also to shout out to PLS, Pulse Chain, to the Hexicans. But let me show you guys a chart and I can explain this better. So this is going to be the weekly Bitcoin chart. I made a little bit of a resistance area here at approximately 27.2, and I'll show you why. When we zoom in and we take a look at the daily, we talked about this consolidation area here. And as you can see, we have two candle heads put together here. This is going to mark a very tough area of resistance. If we're able to flip above that, I'm with it. And taking a look at the daily chart, it is looking like we are going to do that. In fact, that we're going to do that. So daily is actually looking pretty good. One of the things we saw was on the 4 hour. Was it the 4 hour chart? I think it was a 4 hour chart. One of the things we saw is this downtrend, this here, and then we got that pop out. However, also on the 4 hours, indicating that we're going to have some issues breaking above resistance, which is approximately 27.4, 27.2 area. We had the swing wick high that occurred to approximately 27.5, and now we're heading back downwards. When we take a look at MACD, downwards. Market cipher is kind of like flat, like it doesn't necessarily know what it wants to do. So if you're somebody who's actively trading this stuff, take a little bit of profit, get in. Like if you got in at the bottom over here with altcoins at approximately 26.5, consider taking profit. Why do we want to take profit? Take some risk off the table, because right now it's not looking very likely that we're going to break above 27.4. If we do, I'm happy to be wrong. But again, be very cautious here. I think it's very, 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 very important. So with that being said, that's exciting, and that's what's happening with altcoins and charts and all that type of stuff. Have fun, get in, get out, take the 10% gains. Okay, so this is from Reuters, and I don't care if I say that correctly or not. I'm irritated as F. Who's paying you, Reuters? Routers, cock-a-doodle-doo. Who's paying you? Who's paying you? Because we all know that FTX paid money for hit pieces to be done on other people. Can't necessarily prove it because their accounting measures are so bad and they were using fiat cash. Reuters. Thank you so much, Thomas. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for all the nice stuff on the ticky-tacky. But crypto giant Binance commingled customer funds and company revenue, former insiders say. First and foremost, I want to talk to you guys about this. Crypto giant Binance commingled customer funds and company revenue. Let's talk about this. Okay. And I'm going to play the devil's advocate for you. And again, in the video, beginning of the video, full disclosure, it's not that I'm telling you to use Binance. I'm not saying I support everything they do. I'm not saying they're perfect, the end all be all. I'm simply bringing other opinions into the matter. U.S. banks are not required by law. Excuse me. One moment. I'm very tired. U.S. banks, by law, zero customer reserves they have to hold. It was a law I think was passed in 2020. Zero. U.S. banks commingle funds. They take your money and they invest it in other things. Okay? Wells Fargo was just fined $1.3 billion again for shady practice they did in 2016. So my question is, why are crypto companies held to higher standards than traditional banking services? Why? I want to know why. Okay? So when we talk about the commingling of funds, U.S. banks do that. Is it right to do? No, it's not right to do, but I'm simply saying this is a standard industry practice. So why are we mad at Binance for doing it? Why? Why? I have to tell this person I'm streaming. Okay, I stream from 10 to 11 a.m. I'll be around after. I'm streaming now. Okay. So that being said, commingling customer funds and company revenue, former insiders say. Okay, so why is this news? Why is this news? This has been news forever. Like everybody knows that crypto companies do it. You're lagging. If I'm lagging, go to YouTube, baby. I'm not having it today. I'm very irritated today. I'm very tired today. So let's go ahead and talk about the notes. Binance allegedly mixed customer funds with company revenue in 2020 and 2021. According to Reuters, a source with direct knowledge of Binance's group finances said the sums ran into billions of dollars. They claim commingling happened almost daily in accounts Binance held at Silvergate Bank. Binance relied on Silvergate Bank for its financial operations. They used it to deposit client dollars, pay expenses, and finance investments. The report alleged that money from the users was sent into the Silvergate account of Key Vision Department, a Shelley's-based company that CZ owned. Binance reportedly informed Silvergate that Key Vision account's primary function was to collect dollar contributions from non-U.S. clients. Reuters said that they reviewed a bank record showing that on February 10, 2021, Binance mixed $20 million from a corporate account with $15 million from an account that received customer funds. Report also alleged that another Silvergate-based account linked the CZ Cayman firm was used to convert money into BUSD. Reuters admitted that they found no evidence that Binance client monies were lost or taken. Ooh. Ooh. In a statement to Reuters, Binance denied mixing customer funds and company funds. Binance spokesperson said those accounts were not used to accept user deposits. Instead, they were used to facilitate user purchases. They said that when users sent money to the account, they were not depositing funds, but buying BUSD. He claims this process was exactly the same thing as buying a product from Amazon. A former chief of the SEC said that between 2020 and 2021, Binance's website told customers that their dollar transfers deposits would be credited to their trading accounts in the form of BUSD. They were told they could withdraw their deposits as dollars. This created the expectation that client funds would be safeguarded the same way as traditional cash deposits. Patrick Hillman, the chief communications officer at Binance, responded to the Reuters article. Let's take a look, and then I'm going to give you guys my thoughts here. Because again, this is a really, really big nothing burger. He said, let me explain how desperate journalism Reuters is to publish a negative story. The whole base of their story this morning is that when users purchase BUSD Paxos from Binance, which again, you guys, Paxos and BUSD, separate company. BUSD was not owned by Binance, separate company, okay? Nothing burgers are delicious. They were taken to a transaction page that had the term deposit on it. Users were making a purchase of a stablecoin that was redeemable by Paxos, a separate company, which was exemplary stated on the page. So learn how to read, people. The story is so weak that they had to put up a front. Reuters found no evidence that Binance client monies were lost or taken in a transparent attempt to protect themselves from libel suit. So basically, you're reporting and you're indicating incorrect information, but you're putting up a disclaimer saying no evidence was found. 1 + 1 = 69. You're an a-hole. Reuters, you're a bunch of a-holes. Underneath that, they pinned the 1,000 words of conspiracy theories, which we explained were false, with zero evidence other than a former insider. You know what? At this point, I don't want to hear about a former insider. I want the person's name. Because if you're not going to give me the person's name, it didn't happen. You made it up. We've been very public about where the company had regulatory shortcomings in the past. There's no reason for a respected news outlet like Reuters to continue making this stuff up. It is because they're probably getting bribed. That's just my personal opinion. Also, the xenophobia behind the consistently mentioning CZ's ethnicity without noting he's been Canadian since the age of 12 is as subtle as a hammer wrapped in a pill case. And you know what? At this point, why are they saying that? Why is his ethnicity, does it matter? He's a crypto guy. I'm a crypto girl. Does it matter? It really doesn't. I talk about my ethnicity and my race and all that stuff when I'm trying to make a point about a particular thing. But why does this impersonal information about him as a human matter in this story? It doesn't. But again, in America, they divide us based on social BS. Okay? That's what they do here, because we've got so many real problems. We have so many real problems here. It's easier to divide us based on stupid social issues. And again, a lot of the social issues in America would be fixed if people had access to more money, if the US government didn't completely F up our economy, create inflation, print money, and not balance their effing budget. Okay? Just because I look differently than you, like me and Lo's dad, for example, we look different. He's darker, I'm lighter. But we both have access to money to get good products and services, so there ain't no static between us. Okay? And that's just a silly example. But again, there are social issues that exist. There are problems that exist. But at the same time, they're being heightened so much. And it's just being pushed and pushed and pushed in our face. So really, what the way the article should have done, they shouldn't have mentioned that, because he's been Canadian for years, okay, since 12, okay? Canada guy. So I do have a problem with that. It makes me mad. It makes me mad. Okay, so that's being said. So this is what's going on with the story. But there's some more notes. Let's talk about the more notes, okay? Okay. So again, we have another hit piece on Binance. Is it true or not? Did they commingle funds? It kind of sounds like they did. Was it wrong? Well, I'll play devil's advocate here. If they commingled funds, but still had good accounting practices in place to where they knew $100 million was client funds and $15 million was profits, if they had that sorted, I guess you can let them off that way. Is it a good business practice? No. Did they steal from customers? No. Did they file for Chapter 11? No. Also, too, another thing to consider. It is nearly impossible to get a bank account in the United States of America if you are a crypto business. Silvergate was one of the banks that catered to entrepreneurs in tech. So maybe Binance was not able to get another bank account, or a bank account for that particular purpose. So maybe they commingled funds that way. Again, not saying that it's good, not saying that it's the right thing to do. I'm just bringing out other details and other thoughts that I have to help kind of talk this through. Because really, I'm getting really sick of the hit pieces. I'm getting sick of the BS. I'm really getting sick of these public servants saying how bad crypto is. Okay? Crypto is held to a higher standard to our banks. Crypto is held to a higher standard than our banks, crypto exchanges. I'm sick of it. I'm really, really, really sick of it. Because the problem that we're seeing is not the crypto people, it is the public servants and their bad practices. I'm pissed. Is CZ right? Is he right in this? Not 100%. Is Binance right in this? Not 100%. Did they do some, questionable things? Possibly. But at the same time, it's very hard to do the right thing when you don't have laws and regulation put in place. That's just my problem. I'm just sick of it. I'm really, really sick of it. I'm sick of stupid people. I'm sick of the mainstream media outlets that publish garbage, that don't allow real credible sources in. A former insider. Who's this person's name? Who? But what can the average person do about it? Stop voting for morons. Go to your local communities. Talk to people. Write to your public servants. Get up off your behind. That's what you do. Anyways, that's just my thoughts on the whole story. I'm just kind of sick of it. I'm just kind of sick of the BS and whatnot. Shout out to the 174 concurrent viewers and 71 likes. Please smash a like. Don't be ridiculous. Why is Pepe down? Because it's an effing meme coin. That's why it's down. It's a meme coin. It just... Okay, this is Martin. Love Binance, but they gave up on Canada. How? Canada threw them out. They didn't give up on you. They were thrown out. Political crusading doesn't work, so complain. I don't care what you do. You ask me what you can do. I tell you what you can do. It's not good enough. Come on, please. Let's get into our next story. Let's get into the next story. All right. Binance off the hook. Binance off the hook from 8 million Tinder pig butchering lawsuit. The plaintiff, a Texas woman, initially blamed Binance for losing $8 million in a pig butchering scam that began on Tinder. Holy F. This is embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for you, lady. Just reading this title, I am embarrassed for you. Binance has been dismissed from a lawsuit relating to an online pig butchering crypto scam that happened on Tinder. Involved a Texas woman who allegedly lost $8 million to a man she met on the app. The woman was promised romance and financial prosperity by the man. He allegedly convinced her to send millions of dollars in what turned out to be part of a scheme known as pig butchering. It's when a scammer spends time building up a fake relationship with the victim to trick them into sending money. The woman urged that Binance was involved. It provided exchange to the former scammer. She argued Binance and Binance US were the same entity and that people use VPNs to access the exchange. Judge rules there is no evidence Binance Holdings Ltd. aimed to abet theft. Court ruled the plaintiff cannot point a single fact on how Binance is actually involved in this case. The woman who filed the suit, you're a moron. You're the biggest idiot I have ever heard about in my life. The fact that you are blaming somebody else, you are blaming a company for your poor decisions, you're ridiculous. Who the hell goes on Tinder to find romance anyways? People go there to like hump each other and to hook up and stuff. Like, gross. So you met somebody on the... Go sue Tinder. Why aren't you suing Tinder? They facilitated the interaction with you. So instead of taking personal responsibility for your poor behavior, you're going to go sue Binance because you weren't intelligent enough to understand the distinction between Binance and Binance US. And it's not their fault that this happened. It is your fault for trusting some random person on the internet. Jeez Louise, I swear to God, there's stupid people everywhere. Why would you meet some random person on the internet and send them $8 million? Why? Who does that? You know what? What a waste of the court system. What a waste of the court system. You're blaming your problems on somebody else. Go after that guy and sue him. The good thing about centralized exchanges like Binance and Binance US is that they KYC. How did those exchanges know that this guy was a scammer or not? Okay, he could have scammed you from the bank. Freaking embarrassing. You people are embarrassing. I'm so irritated with you people. Anyways, let's talk about FTX. FTX CEO John Ray III claims FTX 2.0 plans. Confirms. No, he doesn't, and I'll tell you why. This is his money over here that he makes. $1,300 an hour. I want to be a scumbag and make $1,300 an hour. I want to be a worthless human being and make $1,300 an hour. All right. Exchange fortification, term sheet for plan structure and exchange, review 2.0 steps. So FTX restart. So before we get into the story, I'm going to explain something to you. When you're in chapter 11, you have to do different things to satisfy the chapter 11 process. Okay. So probably what is supposed to happen here is instead of doing the clawbacks like Celsius, like the scumbags over at Celsius, shout out to Celsius UCC. But instead of them they have to prove that they are doing something positive. They have to prove that they're doing something positive to restart the company. But again, just because they're having these conversations and because he's getting billed for this or he's billing for this doesn't mean it's actually going to happen. But I'm going to give you a hot take. I will not use FTX 2.0 if it rebrands. Probably not. I don't know if there's any incentive for me to use it or not. But I will say FTX had really great products and services. FTX US had really great products and services that I loved. One of the things that I loved about them is you can put your NFTs there, use their marketplace, and their system would verify if that NFT was a was legitimate or not. That was a cool service. But FTX International, they did different things. They integrated a lot of traditional financial products. You would literally tweet at Sam and he would say, okay, let's do this. And they would integrate in, which I think is fantastic. FTX had a lot of great products and services, but it was ran by a bunch of scammers, a bunch of ridiculous dummies, and people with very poor accounting practices. So the company went under. If it does get rebooted and they have the same products and services available, it does have a shot. I know that's a very hot take and a lot of people might not like that, but they did have good products and services. They were just run by very, very poor management. So is what it is. I'm not going to be endorsing it. I won't. I mean, if y'all want to use it, go ahead and use it. That's your business. Like, is what it is. So is what it is. But let's go ahead and read some of the facts over here. All right. And in January, he told the Wall Street Journal everything is on the table. He said that there is a path forward on it. Then we will not only explore it, we'll do it. Prosecutors investing SBF have gathered more than 6 million pages of documents and other records. It includes contents of Sam's Google accounts, notebooks belonging to Caroline Ellison. She is cooperating with prosecutors. Cell phone belonging to Ryan Salami, an FTX executive whose home was raided by the FBI last month. 4 laptops, including one belonging to former executive Gary Wang, also cooperating with prosecutors. That was also stuffed with data. FBI experts had trouble deciphering it. So, where's Sam Trabucco? He was the CEO of Alameda and then gave it up to Caroline in approximately August, and then Caroline took over. So FTX, it's a whole big show. We're not going to be going live with anybody. I don't want to go live with nobody. People are dumb sheep if you use FTX anything. Well, this is the thing. They had really good products and services. So if it was taken over by a more trustworthy person, then why not? So I don't know. That's something that you guys have to decide. It is what it is. But there's a lot of moving parts and pieces here. We're about Dan Friedman. There's all these things that are not getting addressed. So to me, this is another nothing burger story. But again, we have a nasty hit piece about FTX, or excuse me, we have a nasty hit piece about Binance and CZ, but we don't have a nasty hit piece about Sam and FTX. And why aren't we referring to Sam as a J word? I'm one of those on my father's side, but why are we referring to CZ as X, but not referring to Sam as Y? I'm just a little bit curious here how that works. That's all. But again, I just want to know. I want to know. Happy Tuesday. Sounds like a great idea. Where's Marty Bird? I love P. Morton. I love that you said that. That was amazing. I appreciate it. I love that. I absolutely love it. He said, Marty Bird, I love the Ozark. It's a great show. No, my nerves are tired. Wendy is very, very tired. When he's tired, I need some comforting. All right. Let's get back into the next story over here. All right. What is this? Yeah, a bunch of evidence there. Securities Commission share 18-point global crypto framework. All right, let's read about this. This is exciting. All right. The International Organization of Securities Commissions released its inaugural global framework for crypto. Countries including US, UK, Japan, Germany, Singapore, and member countries of the ISOCO board. They propose 18 crypto policy recommendations. Recommendations cover 6 key areas: conflicts of interest, market manipulation, cross-border risk, custody and asset protection, operational technology risk, and retail access. Before I talk about this too much, I want to cover a couple things. So the thing that's important is cross-border risks. There's no cross-border risks. When they say cross-border risks, what they're talking about is they're basically wanting to use a T word here and to make sure people aren't laundering money. There's really not a whole lot of cross-border risks. Oh, thank you. Y'all made it rain on me. Make it rain. Thanks for the gold mine. So it's just a bunch of BS for them to further track you, in my opinion. Custody and asset protection. Japan already does that. When Mt. Gox went down, Japan said, you know what? We're going to segregate. If you want to, woo, we made it rain. Thank you on Tiki Taki. So what Japan did, Mt. Gox went down, people lost their Bitcoin. They says, you know what, you want to operate in Japan, we're going to have you segregate customer funds. This was done years and years ago. Why didn't the US do this back in 2017 and say, you know what, you're a crypto exchange. If you want to operate legally in the United States of America, why are you have to segregate funds? They didn't do that. So you know what, for the Celsius, Voyager, all the bankruptcies that we have, go sue the SEC, go sue the CFTC, go complain to your public servants because they allowed it to happen. The crypto exchanges were just doing the same thing that the banks are doing. The banks require the United States government requires the banks to have zero reserves on file. Zero reserves. So if the banks do it, why can't crypto companies do it? And again, not excusing their poor behavior and them being scammers and a-holes. What I'm simply saying is what is good for us is not good for you, or however that goes. So again, problematic behavior. But it's very interesting that they're consulting with Japan, but they didn't take into Japan's ideology of segregating customer funds. Insurance companies are scams too. All right, operational technological risks and then retail access. I want to go hard on retail access here because this pisses me off. United States of America is the most predatory country ever. They want you to stay poor. They want you to have nothing. They want you to remain in poverty so you focus on trivial social issues, okay? The accredited investor law for retail investors is ridiculous. Currently, you have to make $250,000 to become a accredited investor or have more than $1 million in assets. Most people do not have more than $1 million of assets because of the predatory behaviors of the banks and the public servants and the financial entities in the United States of America, okay? Just because you're born with money, make it rain. Just because you're born with money doesn't mean you're smarter than an underdog. Doesn't mean that you're better than somebody else. It just means that you got a good job doing something. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. Fantastic. Woo, somebody's sending me more money. I appreciate you guys. Stop asking me to talk about XRP. I talked about XRP yesterday. Okay, you're getting annoying. Let's just block you now because it's annoying. Thank you. I don't have patience today. I don't. So again, the accredited investor law on retail investors, it's very predatory. And now in the United States of America, they want to up the limit to $10 million, to have $10 million in assets. Who the hell has $10 million in assets? Nobody does. Nobody does. Nobody does. So with that being said, they want to basically make it harder for people in retail to do better. They want you to stay in poverty. They want to introduce a UBI. They want to keep you poor. They want to make it so you don't own anything. And again, that's very problematic. That is not okay. It's not okay. I'm sick of it. I'm really sick of the system making it so hard for people to do well. So hard for us to do well. It's like I've fought my entire life. Since 7 years old, I've been fighting my entire life. And it's like when you turn and become an adult, it's like you just want to live. You just want to have a good quality of life. Like I wanted to get out of poverty. I wanted to improve my quality of life, but they make it so hard. And God forbid you make a mistake and you do something bad and you have a record. They make it even harder. Don't listen, guys. Someone not mentioning any names sold at the bottom. So you, not only do you look weird and you're a weird dude on the internet that is like talking about a woman, but let's talk about me selling at the bottom, okay? Because you're embarrassing to yourself. Go call your wife, go call your mother, do what you have to do. But let me tell you something. I needed to get my funds off a crypto exchange over 6 figures, which you probably don't even have that much at all, any way, shape, or form. So lower your voice when you're talking to me, okay? So I needed to get my funds off exchange. So I sold a bunch of moon bags into stables, into Bitcoin. With that being said, Bitcoin, it was like when Bitcoin was at $16,000, so I'm up pretty bigly. So I would be embarrassed if I were you two going into, and like, look at your face, how embarrassing you are. Ugh, we're going to block you. But anyways, we get stupid people out of here. It's not my problem. It's not my business. If you want to be stupid and be poor your entire life, please go do that. Don't have time. But back to the accreditor investors thing. That's what they care about. They want to keep people segregated and people poor, and they want to keep the people with money and power, and a lot of people are like, okay, well, work harder, do this, do that, do all of these things. But how can you work harder when it's next to impossible to make a living wage? And again, the United States of America, with the amount of inflation we have, yikes. It's hard to do anything at this point. Is it doable? Yes, I was able to get myself out of poverty, but at the same time, it was hard. It wasn't easy. I struggled a lot. So again, let's go back to this story here. Okay. So Securities Commission share 18-point global crypto framework. One recommendation advises regulators to mandate that crypto asset service providers segregate client assets from their own assets. I love that. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Wendy's not in her feels. Wendy's just tired, and the thing is I get very irritated with stupid people, okay? Because it takes away from the stream. Oh God. And this is why I don't really like TikTok too much, is because the IQ level for some of you are just very, very, very embarrassing. Like, eugh. Anyways, the report states that regulators around the world should use frameworks that map with ISOCO's current standards for securities regulations. Again, I don't think that these crypto assets are securities. That's another problem. I think we need a different definition for them. So again, I am 100% in agreement with segregating the customer funds and the client funds. Absolutely amazing. God, we just keep blocking people on TikTok. Yikes. It's just crazy today. Also, too, one of the things I want to say is that it's very hard. It's very frustrating because you guys ask me, what exchanges do I use? What cold storage do I use? What coins? And then I give you guys I give you guys things that I'm looking at, things that I'm excited about, and then you get mad later. It's like you can't win, and it's mostly TikTok that does it. Yeah, Cardano DeFi is heating up. I like what a lot of the stuff that's happening on Cardano. People are very excited with the Pulse chain stuff, Bitcoin for the ordinals, the Ethereum ecosystem. Arbitrum is probably going to do very well this summer. Syscoin, another one that's going to do well. So just look at the different ecosystems and resonate with that. Just resonate with that. I'm not going to give you guys particular coin picks because I don't really like doing that. I probably will do that again in the bull run, but it's going to be more so with like when there's top articles that come out about breaking news and stuff like that. Okay. ZK Sync. I love ZK. ZK is going to be very, very important for decentralized finance in the future. We have 195 concurrent viewers, 125 likes, 126. Wendy, go hard. Yeah. Also, we have a poll at the top. Do you believe everything you read on the internet? 4% said yes. 80% said no. I know a lot of y'all are grifting, and 17% said breakfast for dinner, which I'm going to have to make a wrap when I get off. No, they're not. The thing on TikTok, no girl makes a pink shirt look better than Wendy does. Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Sadly, TikTok is full of trolls. Majority of kids. They're not though. They're actually adults. There's literally like grown men. It's so weird. I'll talk about the battle of the sexes thing later. We can do a whole episode on that because it's kind of silly. Like if you just are nice to people, like people are nice back. Anyways, so this is a Securities Commission thing. It's kind of dumb. All right, let's talk about this. Hong Kong, shout out to Asia because they're on fire. New Hong Kong to allow retail investors to buy Bitcoin from the 1st of June, Bloomberg. So basically what happened is like Bitcoin was banned back then and now it's not banned anymore. This is amazing. Hong Kong has a lot of very bullish news coming out about crypto and Bitcoin, okay? Let's read the notes here. So Hong Kong Securities and Futures Commissions will begin accepting applications for crypto trading platform licenses June 1st. SFC, what time? Okay. SFC has agreed to allow licensed crypto providers to serve retail. This is great news. This is exciting. They also propose stablecoins should not be admitted for retail trading until planned regulations for the asset class kicks in. You know what? I don't like that, but I understand why they're doing it. So I'll give them that. The rules exemplary bans crypto gifts, which likely includes airdrops. I don't like that. Under the rules, exchanges must maintain at all times no less than 5 million Hong Kong dollars, 640,000 in capital. At the end of each month, they need to submit the platform's available and required liquid capital and a summary of bank loans, advances, credit facilities, and profit and loss analysis to the SFC. Oh, I love you guys. Thank you, Thomas. Approved tokens on regulated exchanges also need 12-month track record. All tokens listed on exchanges will need to go through due diligence process before being listed, even if they are already listed on platform. Okay. What do I like about this? I like the advancement of regulation being pushed. I don't like not being able to trade stable coins, but I understand it. I don't like banning of crypto gifts, banning of airdrops. That's a problem. I do like at the end of each month, they're going to need to submit the platforms available and required liquid capital, what they're spending, all of those things. That's a good thing. It makes for more transparency. Approved tokens on regulated exchanges also need a 12-month track record. I like that also. But again, I like it, but I don't like it. I get why some retail needs that. I don't need that, but I understand why they're introducing it. So basically, the United States has fallen behind again and another country is taking the lead. Embarrassing. Gary Gensler, you're embarrassment. Warren, you're embarrassment. Biden, you're an embarrassment. All the public servants that have something negative to say about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies or crypto assets that have no idea how it operates, you're an embarrassment. Resign. That's all. Let's get into the next story. Right. All right. Ledger is on a mission and will always be to provide our users with the right tools to own their digital value securely. We have decided to accelerate our open sourcing roadmap to bring more verifiable to everything we do. All right, let me read what's going on here. So crypto wallet ledger provider delays key recovery services after uproar. Okay. They're going to make this open source, I believe. Hold on, let me see. Yep. They have made the decision to accelerate the open sourcing roadmap. That's not making the code open source from what I understand. So basically what happened with Ledger, they had a big PR F up because these crypto companies, they hire morons as PR companies. Crypto PR companies are mostly idiots. They have no what am I reading from? I have a brief that I go by every morning with all of the top news stories. So let me explain why I do this. So I have a producer-esque that aggregates all of the top crypto news stories along with things that I send them. They put the article link there for me and they put a couple footnotes. The reason why we do this is because I have a 6-year-old daughter. So I am up at 5 a.m. every morning. I got to work out. I've got to do work, do things. Sometimes I have calls. I have to get my kid up at 6. We have to be out of the house by 7 to get her to school by 7:30. I need to spend time with my daughter. When I get home by 8 o'clock in the morning, I have CoinDesk that I have to be ready for by 8:50 a.m. So I have to get ready for that. And then I go through again and prep. So in between, I'm caring for my daughter and I'm doing other things. I'm reading the footnotes and the articles. So it just makes my life easier. And it's an amazing thing that I have. And I'm very blessed enough that I can hire somebody to aggregate that stuff for me. So the reason why I do that is because it makes my life easier. I want to be able to present you guys very informed takes on things, and having little footnotes helps me. The way that my brain works because of the ADHD, if I see little notes on something, it helps me understand it better. So what I do is I read the little notes and I go back and read the entire article, and it makes my life easier. And again, I'm a mom. I'm the primary caregiver of my daughter. She deserves to have me spend time in the morning. My life is not supposed to be dedicated to content, even though I spend a lot of time doing it. So those are the notes that I'm reading. And it also helps a little bit better. So basically, the code is not really going to be open source from this story, from what I'm gathering and reading it. But basically, and again, I made a video about it, and I'll just tell you really briefly. Ledger Recovery Service is a very important service that is needed because most people are not responsible enough to store their private seed phrase properly, okay? And that's okay. Some are, some aren't, is what it is. So Ledger Recovery is a good service for some people, but a lot of the people in crypto are very upset about it because they're like, oh my God, it's so bad. Yeah, it kind of is bad, but at the same time, I would put my reputation saying that 70% of Americans are not tech and math savvy, and they need this type of service if they're going to operate in crypto, and that's okay. But the thing that they're pissed off about is the Ledger Recovery thing. It hasn't even been released yet. It was just an idea that was being floated around of a new product, and they're, they just executed very poorly on it. So it's it's good that people are upset, and it's good that people are upset and that they are going to push back against this. But at the same time, I think Ledger Recovery is something that some people do need until they're more responsible enough to custody their own crypto and their coins. That's just my personal opinion. You guys can push back, is what it is. So anyways, shout out to the 217 concur viewers. Make sure to smash the like, only at 145. All right, let me go ahead and get to the next story because I have to do something at 11 apparently, and I hope it's worth my time because I will not be very happy. I do not like when people waste my time. My time is worth a lot of money. All right. I talked about that. All right, so this is BlockSec, aave, the latest upgrade for Aave. What the hell is this? What the hell is this guy saying? Aave version 2 users temporarily unable to access 120 million on Polygon after governance bug. Affected tokens, USDT, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Matic, and they're working on fixing the issue. So again, Aave allows users to lend and borrow crypto on different blockchains such as Ethereum, Polygon, and Avalanche. Aave is one of the like old school DeFi protocols that kind of work. But again, with this story right here, we're basically seeing that we're still technically in beta with DeFi because there's problems that can happen. And it is what it is. So to me, it sucks. But again, when you're using any type of decentralized protocols or lending or any of that type of stuff, understand that this stuff is not 100% tried and true. There could be issues, not your keys, not your coins. And on top of it, only use on DeFi protocols which you can afford to use. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. All right, let's get into the next story. We talked about Aave. Let's talk about XRP. XRP eyes fund inflows amid positivity in Ripple case. All right. What is this, a nothing burger? All right. Outflows from crypto investment products have continued for the 5th consecutive week, reaching a total of $232 million. However, XRP has shown resilience by recording positive inflows. In the past week, XRP experienced inflows over 200,000, contributing to an inflow of 3 million. Basically, it's just saying that this places XRP among the top 3 crypto assets in terms of inflow value alongside ADA and Solana. Again, this is a nothing burger to me, but I like to see good things happen with XRP. Michael Saylor, early Bitcoin BRC 20 uses may be illegal. God, I can't stand this guy. I really can't. He isn't completely against them, claiming it partly comes down to the use case and partly how they are perceived. This guy is the epitome of a grifter. Really. All right, let's talk about it. So he spoke with Decrypt at the Bitcoin 2023 conference about ordinals, BRC20 inscriptions, and whether they might constitute as unregistered securities. He doesn't get to say what is an unregistered or security or not, okay? He really doesn't. Like, it's just ridiculous at this point. He said that ordinals are a positive development on Bitcoin network. I agree with you there, Michael. He also said that many of the early use cases aren't terribly serious and veered towards being more speculative. This is how you build. When you built, Michael, when you built your company, was it speculative? Hell yeah, it was speculative. When you're an entrepreneur, you don't know if you're going to succeed or not. People that are creating and building on top of Bitcoin, they are doing the best that they can. Is it speculative? Of course it is. Because we don't know what the outcome is going to be. That's the beauty of becoming an entrepreneur. If BRC20 tokens are viewed as fungible tokens to issued unregistered securities, there's a lot of objection to that because it's unethical and illegal. Shut up. Shut up, for the love of God. Crypto assets are not securities. They operate and they function differently. You need a separate legal body to determine this, to govern these things. I don't want to take some advice from some ivory tower millionaire who literally is grifting off of Bitcoin. I don't. He also said he is against censoring ordinal transactions on the Bitcoin network. I agree with you, Michael. He said we should not modify the protocol to censor certain types of transactions. I agree with you. This is a very interesting story here. What is this? Wait, I don't know what this is. I don't know if I want to cover this or not. I'm not covering this. LabDAO raises $3.6 million to decentralized drug discovery. So basically what LabDAO is, it is a project that came out and they're going to have a DAO and a governance token so scientists can actually go in and introduce different types of studies. I think that this is a very interesting, good idea, but it's not going to work in the United States of America. Anytime, like first off, we're talking about crypto assets. People don't even like crypto assets. Second, we're allowing scientists to upload their research, which is going to be 100% uncensored and unstoppable. It's not going to work in the United States of America because let's face it, they want to keep us as sick as possible. They want to feed us the worst type of food, and they also want to make it nearly impossible to get healthcare. It's a very interesting concept. I'm interested in it, but I don't think it's going to work well. So basically, LabDAO is a DAO focused on open source drug discovery, has raised new funding. They launching a Plex software program, and it's a client that lets scientists interact with Lab Exchange. Services launching with the ability to run computational services. Physical laboratory services will be added in the future. And LabDAO has containerized resource-intensive computational services to make it easier to run data. I think it's interesting, and they're also going to have NFTs. So it's an interesting concept idea. I don't think it's going to do well, though, unfortunately, just because of all of the regulatory BS. Now let's talk about this story. Let's talk about this. Justin, The Treasury Department has asked federal agencies whether they can make upcoming payments at a later date. So you all know the United States of America is supposed to default. Basically, what's going to happen is, I believe we have $31 trillion of debt. They want to increase the debt limit by approximately $2 trillion. This puts me in a very hard spot here. Very hard spot here. I don't want people to suffer. I don't want people to suffer. But at the same time, our public servants, they can't just keep spending like this. They can't just keep doing it. They refuse to balance a budget. They refuse to stop spending. We keep sending money over the seas. We keep creating new programs we have no money for. When is it going to stop? When is it going to stop? It's not going to stop. What is going to end up happening is that it's going to get so insane that they're going to completely wipe out all of the debt, and they're going to institute the CBDC and the UBI. And this is also going to kind of parlay into AI. It's going to be an absolute mess. But again, the fact that they're asking to delay payments, it's basically saying you have credit card debt. You call the credit card company, can I delay payments? Guess what the credit card company is going to do? Yeah, you can delay payments, but we're still going to charge you 20 to 30%. There's a repercussion for your actions. Repercussions for your actions. God forbid I don't pay my mortgage. What happens? The loan goes into default. I lose my house. But the public servants are able to spend your money, because it's your taxpayer dollars, and to do all this BS. And best believe, if there's any interest that's going to be required for the late payments, taxpayers are going to foot it. It's basically a big Ponzi what they're doing with our money. That's what it is. Anyways, with that being said, I'm sending you all love and light. I've got to go because I'm going to give myself an aneurysm over here because it's so upsetting, all of this stuff. So upsetting. But this is why we do the show, so we can talk about it. Yes, Wendy, it's AI healthcare. The doctors, our hands are tied. Spending should have been addressed long ago. It 100% should have. But anyways, you guys, I appreciate you guys watching here. We have 206 concurrent viewers. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and set alerts. I appreciate y'all for being here. We will be live again tomorrow at 10 a.m. PST on the Tiki Taki on the YT. I'm sending y'all love and light. I gotta go eat though. Bye-bye. Bye, Tiki Taki. Have a good rest of your day. Appreciate you guys, and shout out to Thomas and my amazing moderators. Bye-bye.